Hey, how's it going, everyone? Today I want to talk about a book that I like a lot. It's one of those books that keeps bringing me back, I guess. I keep finding more and more information within a book every time I read it. I'm currently reading it, and I like to share that book with the rest of you who are interested. Can't recommend it enough. That's a book called Titan, the life of John D. Rockefeller and establishing of his empire of Standard Oil. I want to give credit to the person who have written the book. That would be talented author Ron Chernow. I would definitely recommend for everyone take a look at not necessarily just this book. Perhaps he had worked with other projects as well. It's one of those things that you can tell that the person put into a lot of work and greatly appreciate it. And I think the same feelings has other readers of his work. Little bit of background and overview of John D. Rockefeller Sr., a name that resonates with wealth, power, and impact. Born in 1839 in Richmond, New York, Rockefeller's story stretches far beyond the vast fortune he amassed. While we often associate him with the oil industry, his legacy is multi-faced and compelling. Rockefeller's narrative commences humbly raised in modern home in Cleveland, Ohio. His early life was marked by perseverance and diligence. By the time he reached adulthood, his entrepreneurial spirit was already evident. In 1859, at the age of 20, he ventured into oil business, setting a stage for his remarkable ascent. Within the book, the author is sharing a lot of information about Rockefeller himself, about the family where he was growing up, and what kind of small tasks he had to do to earn money in his household, how he was looking after animals. Later, he ventured out in the food industry and was a couple of other things that he did, small jobs that he had at the time, and it was built up to overall running a massive empire when it comes to oil. But I really like the book where he's sharing this information, also sharing this information in a large format, and for a reader, it's hard to find anything that goes next to it, even if you yourself who you would watch a movie, not necessarily anyone would pay that much attention in those small details where a lot of people, authors, can share within a book. It was founding of a Standard Oil company in 1870s that truly capitalized Rockefeller into spotlight. This pivoted move revolutionized the oil industry, granting him a stronghold on production, distribution, and pricing. Yet this dominance sparked concerns about monopolies and anti-competitive practices. Just a quick summary within the book is sharing a lot of information when it comes to actually business opportunities within that period. That would be there was a lot of government contracts for military, as well as at the time he did a lot of contracts when it comes to the food industry, but nothing that came close to working for oil industry, and in particular refining of oil, not necessarily taking in oil from the ground, but actually refining it. And some of that, about a third of that, is something that Rockefeller was doing at the time, sending it to Europe. Just some details for anyone who is interested. Yet Rockefeller's legacy goes beyond business acumen. He recognized the immense responsibilities that accompanied his wealth. In 1913, he established the Rockefeller Foundation, a momentum step towards challenging his resource into positive change. This foundation has since catalyzed advancement in education, medicine, and global development, leaving an indelible mark on society. Uh, a quick summary. I can right now I can't remember who said it, but there was some moments in his life where if he believed that if he would give away money, not necessarily providing necessary qualifications, educations, or systems in place, people would just lose that money unless they had those systems in place, or perhaps better education, better medicine, and global development. That's the real way of how to produce wealth, and I think everyone can feel that even after almost 100 years of impact that it left on overall society as a whole. Of course, no journey is without its trials. Rockefeller faced legal battles and criticism for his business practices, particularly the monopolistic tendencies associated with Standard Oil. Despite these hurdles, his legacy persists. His influence on the oil industry fundamentally shaped its trajectory, while these philanthropic endeavors continue to shape lives. While building his company and overall attitude when it comes to business, he made not only friends but a lot of enemies, and I think one of the best highlights of what he mentioned himself, he would ask for everyone to do not change the facts of actually what happened when it comes to publicity and sharing any information with regards to what he actually did. So I think that's one of the highlights of what was very important for him when building his legacy, for everyone to stick to the facts. And I wasn't there, so I don't know all the details. But yeah, he probably made some enemies while building his empire when it comes to oil and his overall business practices. As we wrap up our journey throughout Titan, I left in awe of the interact therapy of John D. Rockefeller, Sir's life, Ron Chernow, meticulously researched and vivid storytelling have given us a comprehensive portrait of this enigmatic figure. If you are eager to explore this interaction of business powers, immense wealth, and commitment to social betterment, Titan is an essential additional to your reading list. I would personally recommend for anyone who is interested in overall business about how others did it, and it's definitely a person who left a mark on the history. But I can't recommend this book enough for anyone who is interested to read it. For anyone who is interested, I have recently published my new book, Rise Impact. Since we're on the topic of books, I can recommend it enough for anyone who is interested in learning more about how to build a business. In this particular book, it's more leaning towards how, if you are starting out and where to begin, what perhaps some of the skills that you need to pick up, what things you need to learn, understand, where to begin. And in book, I'm discussing and using some of the real world examples of a couple who are interested in doing it perhaps for themselves and progressing from there in perhaps start selling the products and services what they grow on the farm in a small quantities, very low stress comparing to the book that we're discussing today. Perhaps in but stay ambitious, stay curious, and if you are interested, you can find this book on my company's website, and you can take a copy there. Thank you. Just want to say thanks for everyone who been watching this video. You can find a copy or reach out to me if you need any help with some of the problems that you're perhaps facing right now. Uh, I'm trying to respond to all the emails that I'm receiving. Other than that, thanks for watching and see you in the next one.